hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant, give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're firing me, firing me. Yeah, you're firing me, firing me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow. I've been caught in the undertow. Toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. I know you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. To get you out of my head. Come on, give it all you got. Try and save me, but you make it all worse. Every time you hear these words, I'll be down the road, cause I know the odds are better on my side. I don't want you to try to be wise. I'm calling you cry. I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart beats a beat down, I press the lens just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't even say that I drown with a playing the way. I feel like I'm fading.
Hi, I live for the applause, but not the clap. Jose Gonzalez.
And if laughter is the best medicine, I hope you choke. Auntie Collins.
And you guys are watching the Mother Tuck and Post Show, where we are recapping all things RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. It is episode 10. It is the Villains Roast on RuPaul's Drag Race. Collins, don't you love a good roast?
I have a body that looks like I'm made for a roast, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm built like a Mississippi pot roast. That's what I'm saying.
All kinds of roast. Pot roast. Roast beef sandwiches.
I mean, better the sandwich than the curtain.
Listen, that's between me and my doctor. We talked about this.
God, we are off to a great start. I mean, we're talking about a roast challenge on RuPaul's Drag Race, but oddly enough, not the first time we're talking about a roast on an OLE podcast. If we take it back to the end of December on an episode of On a Ramble, where the best thing ever happened. Kimmy Sokol retired from media. and I roasted her pretty damn good. So
I feel like when I feel like Kimmy Sokol is the Susie Toot of everything in life because all those jokes went over her head and she thought she got one up on us. But you know what? Just like her.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we have seen not Kimmy Sokol appear on some podcasts since retiring, so I don't know what the hell to believe anymore. Is there really such thing as a retirement in wrestling these days?
Well, salmon is my favorite color, so that's false. I like green. Sorry, I lied. I just lied to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you even watch the show, Tamar? I'm Michael. And the best part is that we get to make the same joke later today on the other show. Never say never, as they all say.
Oh my gosh.
We might be a little extra silly today, guys, because later on this afternoon, this evening, not only are we having our Mother Tuckin' post show for RuPaul's Drag Race, but we're going to have a season in review post show for the Traders US Season 3. So it'll be myself. It'll be Auntie Collins. Hi, Mark. Thank you for jumping in to say hi and have a good show. I appreciate it. But yes, myself, Auntie Collins, Bobby Munson, Astrid Pizarro, and Ella J are going to have our own little session at the round table where we talk murder. And there's a dog behind Auntie Collins right now. I don't know if that's Lala, but...
What?
There's a dog behind you. I don't know if it's Lala.
Oh, it is my Chichihua next to the one who is smart as a beagle and as dumb as a pug.
Yeah, I was going to say Chichihua, rest in peace, from season 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race. No, I'm kidding. You know, I mean, we had to at least make some joke. Yes, we love two dogs.
Yeah. These are my
Wrong
kids.
Breaker who could never.
Came out. Honestly, I always talk about how my Chichihua is dogtistic. Because dogs take on the traits of their owners, and many of you know I have the touch of the tism. So naturally, Mr. Archer is a little bit dogtistic. So he doesn't like when wet things touches his paws. He has to eat his food in a particular way.
I mean, speaking of eating food in a particular way, we do have to talk about last week where Lydia Butthole Collins sent her main squeeze home. Corey King sashayed away after, I don't want to say an amazing run, but damaged. Like, I miss Corey's personality in the workroom of just being fucking stupid.
What an episode to go home on, because I feel like the roast would have been the win for Ms. Corey. Would you agree?
Foreshadowing. I mean, they keep it in the family, but I mean, it's also just, it's crazy to think that we didn't really get to see all of what Corey could do. I don't know if that was by design of what she brought to the competition, or if she was just so prioritizing a new relationship that it kind of felt like the competition was an afterthought, which is kind of crazy. It felt like she was there for reality TV, not for the competition itself.
I mean, there's only one winner, so might as well have a good time, right?
Yeah. I mean, clearly we find out just how good a time they had. I mean, we talked about Kiss Me Deadly last week being the lip sync song, and there was a makeout session on the stage. It gave me Trish and Mickey flashbacks to 2005 Christmas. Yeah. Oh no, never that.
Never that.
Not on RuPaul's Drag Race. Jose, raise your volume. I feel like you got to whisper. I thought I fixed my volume shit. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Because I don't want to blow your ears out.
Everybody sounds like a whisper compared to me. Let's be honest.
Okay, we cranked this bitch up way further than we were last week. Is this better? And if it's not better, then you could tweet your complaints about Hulk Hogan.
It's always. That's where you put the suggestion box.
Yeah. I mean, I'd suggest many things about Hulk Hogan, none that I could make the way on the air without.
Listen, we were talking about limitations. We were talking about dog walking earlier.
I believe it is, but I mean, we weren't talking about creatures on four legs. I'm gonna raise it a little bit more because why the hell? But I mean, we do have to talk about just the craziness that was this episode, which I was not expecting to be the drama that it was. With how it played out, I knew like there's gonna be like some bitches feeling some type of way because it's a comedy challenge, and not everybody is a comedy queen. But I mean, even before that, we have to discuss who was our piggy of the week last week.
I mean, Miss Jewel Sparkles for me and Lexi both gobbled it up.
Yeah.
Because man, I actually couldn't stop thinking about that, and I was thinking about how can I wear a veil on top of my head in the way that Lexi Love did. How can I just do that? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it one day.
I will say, like even watching like Fashion Photo Review, like Lexi got the shoot, not Jules. But I feel like, oh hi Astrid, we'll see a little bit later. I feel like the thing is that when we're talking about a Betsy Johnson design challenge from last week, Betsy had a more visceral reaction to what Jules did, whereas the rest of the judges had a more visceral reaction to what Lexi did. Like Lexi had a gorgeous constructed dress, like meeting the brief of that prenup with the whole bridal look. But I feel like Jules really captured what it is that Betsy Johnson does. With the maximalism, having the 3 different kinds of fur trims with that stole, it felt like it truly could have been something out of a Betsy Johnson collection. And I think that's what gave her the edge over Lexi in last week's challenge. Not that Lexi didn't do an incredible job, because she totally did.
Right.
But yeah. Also, yeah, thank you. I mean, this is a Bobby Munson original overlay. I really love the feeling it feels like we're just like browsing and talking shit on a forum.
Wait, did you do that as a wee child, ASL?
See, I was not like, my AIM stuff started when I was 13, but like the forums that I was like in as a child, they weren't anything like creepy. It was just me like really into tech, and so I was like trying to figure out like character lore and everything. I will say one of my favorite Twitter interactions like way back in the day of like 2011, 2012 was when Zelina Vega was still in TNA. We were talking about like tech and like character like storylines of who's related to who. So that's always fun, but yeah. Good
Okay.
Rosita.
Good old Rosita. I was getting in trouble with my parents because I was not saying who I was on the internet, because obviously, and I catfished boys at my private school. It was so fun. And I called it creative writing because I was making up people, and then different people were connected different. I had like 8 different personas going on.
Oh God. I mean, I don't know how much more you could say without turning yourself in, but I mean,
you know those episodes, you know, of all those, you know, police shows where it's like the one kid's cyberbullying. I feel like this was my way to combat cyberbullying. Was I'm going to bully back all the people who called me ugly, stupid, fat, lazy, all the things when I was 13 years old. And this is my confession, Usher. There was a guy there's like a fair, like a street fair kind of that goes on. They have like rides and all the things. I was in line for the Ferris wheel, and this guy named Brent came up to me, and I was like, oh, he's the hottie, like
Not
very, very Chad Michael Murray kind of like hottie. And he goes to whisper in my ear, like, come here. I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, this ride only holds 2 tons. Guess you can't go on. I know. So me being 13, I had to get my revenge.
No, you have to get your look back about that. Yeah, no, Auntie is stunning. She's gorge. I mean, they are the moment, the icon, the legend. I was telling Victoria about how the Mike Audio D&T's vlogs weren't that good. Which I'm glad she's in 2K25, by the way. But I mean,
I know.
Also would have been nice to have her in the Hall of Fame this year, especially considering the drama surrounding the inductee. We'll leave it at that. I mean, while we're on this like AIM, like Yahoo Messenger, like stuff, did you ever like have it like on your cell phone at the time, or like was there ever like anything where like you went out of your way to make sure like you had AIM at all times?
So here's the thing. I was also poor, so I didn't get a cell phone until I had a job.
Fair. Because I mean, I paid for my cell phone like growing up and everything too. So like I was the Virgin Mobile king. Like I have like a core memory. I even got a fucking picture of it because I always wanted a sidekick, but like my family didn't do like actual cell phones, so like T-Mobile would never be in my price range. I remember rocking this Kyocera XTC. God bless it. I love this fucking thing to this day. I wish I still had it and it still worked. Because you'd
Oh
open
my
it the long
God.
way and it would like still have the dial pad and it worked. It had an MP3 player in it. Like for $25 a month, I had 300 minutes to talk, but I could do unlimited texting. I could do unlimited AIM, unlimited Yahoo Messenger. I had data on a cell phone as a 13-year-old. So I went down some fanfic rabbit holes. I'm just saying, if you pay attention to Randy Orton's promo on SmackDown, if you know, you know. I will leave it at that. But yes, no, I love this thing. I miss this thing. It just, yeah. Bring back physical keyboards on phones, y'all. I just bought a stupid BlackBerry case for my iPhone, and like, it's not the same. I want a slider.
The bowl on the BlackBerry was my stimulation toy for a very long time. Because
I was gonna say that's the original fidget spinner.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. But I had so my parents had Verizon later, and when I hopped on their plan, you know,
did you have the Envy?
I had the Envy.
Which one? Was it the top?
I had the first one because there was an orange case. And this is the time that I was Nintendo Orange or Nintendo Teal. Like everything in my plethora of existence was that.
I would have never thought that teal would be a color you gravitate towards.
I know. It's not me. It's a product of the 2000s. Oh. No, these are actually more like mint green over here.
Fair.
I know that they're reading teal, but they are more mint green. So.
Yes. I mean, reading things is all what a roast is about, guys. So, I mean, before we even get into that, we have a quote-unquote mini challenge. To everybody's surprise, it's Michelle Visage that enters the workroom this week.
Oh!
And she is talking to the girls about how, at this point in the competition, it's crazy. They're going to do something they've never done before, which is bring back something that was gone far too soon. Normally, we feel like an Eliminated Queen's coming back, but they had that twice already this season. We see the return of the Badonkadunk tank. And Michelle Visage is getting her revenge on these girls. So the quote-unquote challenge is that they're going to sit on top of the Badonkadunk tank answering trivia questions. If they get it right, they stay dry. If they get it wrong, they get dunked. But Michelle Visage just makes them wrong every single time. Or, like, it literally starts out with, like, Lydia, what's your favorite color? Like, blue. No, it's red. Bonk. Like, Jules, what's your favorite body part? Penis. No, it's your uvula. Bonk. Lexi, who's your favorite judge? Michelle Visage. Brown nose. Bonk. Just like, all these bitches got dunked. And then, I forgot who the editor was. Was it for Entertainment Weekly or?
Yeah, Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, he ends up just going on there and, like, he gets dunked and plays a Hormona Lisa. And then he also does, like, a pose that we've seen from when queens are dunked during a mini challenge before.
I thought there was going to be like a sneaky like photo challenge. Something.
I did too, because they've done that before, but they also didn't get in drag.
Yeah, well,
that should have gave it away. Or actually, would have been better if they got into quick drag and then they got done. That would have been cruel and unusual punishment.
I did like how Lydia was like, "I'm going to piss in this dunk take for everyone else." I'm like, okay, that's diabolical and very Pittsburgh of you. So
I mean, that's not butthole behavior though, that's urethral.
Listen, you don't pee out of your butthole?
Can't say I do.
Seek medical attention, please.
Yeah, let's not have natural fluids coming out of different orifices. But alas, the winner of this week's mini challenge is none other than Michelle Visage.
Yeah.
That couldn't have happened to a better person. But I mean, we do find out that this week our queens are tasked with competing in the villains roast. So our talented queens are going to be roasting 3 famous Drag Race villains over the years. We have from season 13, Miss Candy Muse, also from All Stars 8, also from House of Villains. From season 15, we have the one, the only Mistress Isabel Brooks. And from the previous season, season 16, we have Boston's own knockoff Russian hooker, because they had Katya before, Plain Jane.
It's Timu.
No, it's AliExpress, but it got stuck in DHL for too long.
I have a bone to pick with DHL because, okay, you see these nails? Okay.
Yes.
Order them, and they got stuck with DHL for 2 months. I didn't know that the Quickies brand for nails was shipped out of Canada, out of Vancouver, which I could just drive 2.5 to 3 hours up to the border, throw them over, grab them, whatever. Why did it take almost 2 months?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Right? And these would have been so sick during Christmas time.
Yeah. I mean, is there ever a time where a nail is out of season?
I wouldn't wear a neon during like November or December. Like a neon orange or a neon.
But you could do neon red and green.
It depends on the green.
Yeah. I mean, actually, no, you could have done neon in November too this year. Pink and green.
Sorry, holding space.
Let
Holding space.
Yeah, let the record show that a neon nail is never out of style.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to leave now.
Me leaving the trade.
Yeah. This is my retirement. This is my salmon jacket.
Yeah, thank you for coming in your salmon jacket. Okay, but we do have to figure out the order in which our roasters are going to be presenting their comedy to the judges this week. And Jules, being the winner of last week's challenge, gets to choose the roasting order. So, as follows, we have our opener, On Your Nerve, followed by Arietti, followed by Jules Sparkles, then Lana Jarre, Sam Starr, Lydia Butthole Collins, Susie Toot, and Lexi Love. Now, of note, Lexi Love wanted to be the closer. However, Jules, being the shady queen that she is, which I wouldn't say it's really that shady. It's a fucking competition, girls. It ain't
right.
She put Susie Toot before Lexi, which makes Lexi feel some type of way. It's like, at the end of the day, if your inner saboteur is worried about another queen who is not anywhere near your aesthetic or your taste, what does it fucking matter?
Right? Oh, I see Susie Toot as my competition.
Bitch, you're gonna start tapping and like wearing like these fucking like finger wave wigs?
Oh my god.
Where you're gonna paint your lips like the size of like a fucking dime? Like what?
They are on completely opposite sides of the drag spectrum.
And that's just Lexi's wig.
I mean, imagine just going, you know what I want? I want to close the show. Asterisks. Okay, what are your stipulations? I don't want that bitch Susie Toot to be next to me. Okay, guess what? If I'm doing this competition, I mean, okay, you want to close the show? Let's test you.
I mean, it's not that deep. And of course, Arietti is like freaking the fuck out about her having to go after Anya, who's like naturally funny and everything. My thing is, it doesn't matter where you are in the card, girl. We know you're not funny. Like, you had 3 design challenges already. You showed the fuck out. You flopped during RDR Live. Mm-hmm. You flopped during Snatch Game. Like, clearly, it is up to you whether you sink or swim. It's not up to the placement in the show.
I'm going to be mad at my friend for not thinking of me.
Collins, do you want to say it this week, or can I say it?
You can say it.
It is not RuPaul's Best Friends race. It's not.
And the crowd goes wild.
Hell, even last week was the end of RuPaul's Boyfriends race. Like, y'all, it ain't that deep, but it gets messier. Because the girls are workshopping their jokes at a table read with Michelle Visage and the extra special guest judge this week, Whitney Cummings. Which, I won't lie. I used to be a big Whitney Cummings fan. Lately, these days, not as much. Although this was a good episode to have her on, and I thought she was great throughout the whole episode. I will say that, objectively.
I mean, if you're going to pick someone who's good at roasting, even themselves, sure. Yeah. Because I used to be, don't tell anyone. I used to be a big Crystalia fan. I used to be. And they were on that show Whitney together, right?
Yeah, I remember watching Whitney.
So I remember
they canceled it.
Yeah, I watched that week after week after week. So I was like, I really like her. And then I got to know her like through her podcast and all the things, and I was like, okay, she's endearing, you know, whatever. And then she started to talk and have her opinions, and I was like,
oh, that's not.
I don't like you. I don't like you.
And that's kind of where you have Chelsea Handler veering away from Whitney, doing more of her own shit and staying true to like real shit.
Could not imagine being like, you know what? Crystalia, yeah, he fucked a 16-year-old, but you know what? He's not a bad guy.
No,
what?
No gorge. No gorge.
What? We're defending people that... That's
the
a
only
crime.
thing worse than a pro wrestler is a comedian.
And they're willing to like put their career on the line. Like, okay, you made your Netflix money. Cool. Like, she has multiple specials on Netflix. Cool. Great. You got your money. And now you're supporting literal abusers.
But my thing is, if we're going to have a roast challenge filmed during 2024, you mean to tell me that you could not get fucking Nikki Glazer? Who I would say is currently the roaster of all roasters.
Yes. I love coming up on her videos on TikTok because it's a breath of fresh air.
The way that she murdered Tom Brady at that fucking roast. That was a masterclass of roasting.
Is that still on? Was
Netflix.
That on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
You should go watch it.
Yes. When you're not watching Monday Night Raw on a Monday, definitely watch that roast performance because, woo, goddamn. But yes, no. So Whitney Cummings being there is not the worst part. It's the fact that as they're going through these jokes and everything, we get. Is this the first time we get plagiarism on RuPaul's Drag Race?
That would be one for the historians, not someone who has Swiss cheese brain over here.
Yeah, if someone wants to Google if Drag Race plagiarism when it comes to like a challenge, let me know. Like, I've seen people like wear similar shit like unironically.
Yeah, or like steal fabric
but like actually stealing somebody's comedy set is a new one, I think, for me. Out of the multiple dozen seasons across multiple franchises, I don't think I've ever seen just flagrant plagiarism that Arietti did with Jewel Sparkles, like as a way to get her lick back for where she's placed in the order of the show.
And to me, it wasn't even like a slick way to do it. It was looking over your notes like this is, fifth period history.
Which I'm honestly, like, she wasn't being discreet about it either. I'm just like,
right.
Why did nobody clock it?
Would you have clocked it? Do you know anyone who was cheating in school? Did you clock it?
I mean, as somebody who took year one of AP World History 2 years in a row, I probably could have done better about copying. And I double down on that as someone that did not attend the first year of International Baccalaureate Biology during my second time taking it senior year. You couldn't get me to go to class at the end of my high school career. I had what I needed to graduate. They knew that. Anything beyond that, it was just, no, I'm not doing this. I'm burnt the fuck out. So,
see, the only class that I ever did poorly in high school was geometry. And it's because I was in 10th grade. Why did I have any business cutting class to go smoke cigarettes? No idea. But guess what? I did. And the teacher made a big deal about it.
Allegedly, Gottmik plagiarized. Okay, I will say Gottmik used jokes that we've seen from outside of Drag Race, like to
Yeah.
help with her roast set. That I don't consider plagiarism in the same way
I didn't know that
we got this week, just because it's literally from one queen right next to you to another that they're coming up with in the moment. At least with like the Gottmik set from All Stars 9, that's like drawing like some setups that you've seen from the past and then using it in a new way. Like hell, when I roasted Kimmy, I took a lot of stuff that was like setups from like past seasons of Drag Race and adapted it. Like sometimes it's not necessarily like going out of your way to just like hijack a joke that someone's done before and then go in. It's another to steal someone who's workshopping it and then present it before they have a chance to. So,
in order to make them look worse, in order to set them up, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The girls were fighting all episode long. I mean, we saw like some silence between Ariadne and Jules in the workroom the next day when they're trying to get ready. You have Lexi, who's getting pissed about the fact that like Susie's going before her and like how like Jules is like sabotaging them. It's just like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? It is a competition show. You lost last week. She won. You knew that if someone has the advantage of choosing an order for something, you take it on the chin and you keep going.
Especially this, I mean, we're 10 episodes in, but I feel like we've been here for a million years so far. Come on. Don't make me say it again.
And I mean, we will get into the roast moment. It's just, this season feels like they're making mountains out of molehills every week. It's like, I think it's starting to like go from like, oh, we haven't had a good drama like this in so long on Drag Race. Now it's just like, y'all be fucking for real. Now it's to the point where like I'm past the drama. I'm just like, can we? It's not even like I want kumbaya. It's just, can we just get to the fucking challenges and go from there? Like, let the material speak for itself. I'm tired of like everything getting taken out of context and just blown up.
I think I would have preferred it if like, especially if like Ariadne and Jules were actually like going head to head. Mm-hmm. But it was so, you could clearly see that Ariadne had this hurt, right? This specific hurt that instead of talking about it with Jules and being like, hey, the way that you did this hurt me. I understand that it's competition, but you actually hurt me. I just want to make sure that we're still friends after this. It was blatantly like, I'm gonna sabotage you. And Jules being none the wiser, not that Jules is naive, but that wasn't her MO. Her MO wasn't, I'm going to be, you know, I want to sabotage, I want to get Ariadne out of the competition. Although maybe underneath, everybody has been wanting to. All the design challenges are over, so what better time to get a design queen out?
I mean, the real tea is that it wouldn't have mattered who won the challenge this week. I feel like results would have ended up the same. And regardless of the levels that she stooped to, Ariadne was bound to get eliminated this week because she just does not do well in situations where she's not either fashionable or a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. But moving on to the villains roast. I mean, Collins, your thoughts on how this roast went?
People who I thought wouldn't do well did very well. Lydia had some hilarious one, and I love it when they go not just for the villains, but they go for or whoever's on stage that they're roasting. They go for their own castmates. They go for the judges.
Which is the way a roast is supposed to be. Yeah, you have like your main target of like whoever is going to be like the subject of the roast, but like you have to sprinkle some stuff in for everybody. Like not to bring it back to the Kimmy roast again from On a Ramble, but like I had a little something for quite a few different people. Like
I loved
the whole thing is like you worm your way into your main set where you're going to have like the harder hitting jokes. I mean, Lydia Butthole Collins, I will go out on the record. That might be my favorite roast set I've ever seen on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
Because everything hit differently. It hit grotesquely. I had an actual laughter that, like, I was not expecting certain jokes to land the way they did. Like, the last time I saw a roast that successful was the very first season of RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race, when they had that roast of RuPaul, and you had fucking celebrities nailing it.
Yeah. I haven't seen that, but I would assume that would be fantastic.
That is quite literally my favorite overall roast in Drag Race history, just because of the fact that everyone was funny. And they also had people like Nina West and Kimchi and Bob the Drag Queen getting some stuff in too. But like the jokes that they were able to come up with these celebrities, like Alex Newell was in there, Matt from American Ninja Warrior was in there, Dustin Milligan from Schitt's Creek. Like it was actually really fucking funny. So
I am Googling this.
Yes.
But anyways, yeah, Lydia Butthole Collins even poking fun at herself.
Mm-hmm. I think oh God, Lydia had so many good jokes. Like Mr. Isabel Brooks from season 15 of Drag Race. Although from the looks of it, it doesn't look like you're racing anywhere. Let's see. I am such a big fan, is what Mr. Isabel Brooks would say if she was a giant oscillating fan.
I was cackling. Then the joke to RuPaul of now that Corey is gone, I need a bottom for. I'm really bad at retelling jokes. I need a bottom.
It's like I need a bald black man to give me attention, and you love putting me in the bottom.
Yeah.
Candy Muse, you left, or like you were a former moron. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Former Mormon. You left the church because you didn't want to compete with 6 other women for food. Which was so fucking funny.
I know.
But also, I mean, we did see like other really good sets. I mean, Lana Jarre surprised the fuck out of me.
Yes.
This is what we've been wanting for her for over 2 months now. Like, her timing was great. She felt comfortable up there. When she was getting ready to toss it over to Sam Star, and she's talking about like how her ancestors like had her family as slaves. And then Sam Star is saying like, give it up for my longtime family friend Lana Jarre after. Like, that kind of volley is what a roast is about to be. Like,
yes.
Come on.
And it sucks because it's not that I wanted. I mean, I love Jewel Sparkles. I think I've been cheerleading for her since the beginning. But she had such a good feeling in the read, with everybody before the show started.
Yeah.
That I wish that we could have seen, her not so shaken. But you know what? Someone just went word for word, stole your jokes.
And flopped them.
And flopped. And you're like, then all of my jokes are bad.
Well, it's not even just that. It's also the fact of like, well, now I gotta fucking call it on the spot. Mm-hmm. Like, you seldom ever on RuPaul's Drag Race when it comes to a challenge like this, like see it, I mean, for lack of a better term, call it in the ring. Like, they're supposed to be prepped so they could really focus on getting the delivery. For her having to do, like, impromptu, like, jokes and reads, it could have been a lot worse. Mm-hmm. But I really don't understand why they did not address this on the main stage or even in greater detail on Untucked. Mm-hmm. This should have been the talking point during the judges' critiques, and it fucking wasn't, and it's pissing me off.
Listen, I don't think any roast could be as terrible as, oh my God, what?
I know. No. They passed Farrah Moan. Let's get this roast cooking, which was our thumbnail this week. No, we are past Farrah Moan. Ariadne takes that spot as the worst Drag Race roast.
All right.
It goes Ariadne, then Farrah Moan, then Alexis Michelle. Then, God, I'm trying to think who else was terrible, like, at roasting. Ivy Winters.
Who was...
Oh, wait, God, who was the one that fucking Lonnie loved? Like, you're the one who's bombing! Oh, was it Elliot? With 3 Ks?
I'm going to have to go back and watch.
It was Utica.
It was Utica. Yes, Utica. Yes.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes the best roast moments are like when queens you don't expect to be funny are funny. Mm-hmm. Like, we got to see that tonight with Lana Jarre. I think about Sasha Velour when they were roasting Michelle Visage back on season 9. No one expected that to be funny. Fucking, God, who the fuck was it on season 5? Alyssa Edwards. Coco Montrese in character. Talk about being RuPaul's cousin. That nobody expected to be funny. You had Nina Benina Brown like as like an old lady trying to kick it to like all the judges, like basically like gooning over Fortune Feimster during the Michelle Visage roast. Let's see. Valentina was one that was terrible. We won't talk about that. I mean, during the roasted Lady Bunny, I thought Manila Luzon killed it.
Yes. Oh my God.
That was All Stars 4.
Okay. I just finished season 3, by the way.
Ooh,
so now I just want to like go into all the All Stars ones because I'm done seeing the first couple seasons, like their first couple episodes are so bad.
Yeah. Oh, God bless you going into season 4 knowing what's to come.
Listen, used to be my fave. No, now no longer.
Yeah,
so.
2 things. 1, justice for Jeremy. And 2, fuck Shangela and Sharon Needles.
Absolutely. They can all get dog walked.
Yeah. Oh well. Way to tarnish your legacy by just being a piece of shit person. But I mean
apparently they've always been a piece of shit. Just when that spotlight be on them.
But speaking of piece of shit, we got to talk about this runway this week. This
Who
was
wears
a category,
short
y'all. I mean, let's just bring it up. Category is who wears shorts. Immediately, what were your thoughts when you heard this was the runway category?
I thought it was going to be more campy. I was like, great, we're getting a camp runway. It's going to be funny. Hello, we just had a roast, so why can't we do something funny? Play on words. None of these seem to be play on words. Well, some of them. But.
Like, I wanted to see a lot of like ass. I wanted cheekage. I wanted padding.
Yes.
Wanted like, if we're talking about shorts, like come out in a thong. Why not?
I mean, at least the hairy ass isn't here with us anymore. So I've never shown my ass ever. Let me do it on national television.
Yeah, and then pull a blush brush out of it during a lip sync as my stunt to stay. Listen, they still need to apologize to Ariana for that yes and lip sync, because what the fuck was
that? We'll hold space for that too.
Well, I mean, they probably took some poppers to hold that space for the brush. But up first, we have Anya Nerve, who takes these denim shorts and turns it into like a mankini.
I was gooped and gagged. I said, this is it. This is all I want. Because yes, you can see that there's padding, and that's usually like my, it's a nude illusion, blah, blah, blah. I love this. I absolutely love this. And then how it zipped down into this little bra thing. Oh my God. I love this. I want one. I would not look like this, but
I also feel like Anya was the only one that really made the shorts like the emphasis of her own look, because it felt like her whole look was quite literally a pair of shorts that she just stretched out to cover her punani and like have a little bit of like flared denim as like boot covers. So I think as far as meeting the brief, she was the one that took it the most literally, but it also looked good. So I'm not going to complain.
And I love that the hair is like Nickelodeon orange, you know?
Yeah, here's Nickelodeon orange. She's like bedazzled and crusted like above the waistline. I mean, I don't care if I see her backwoods uptown in this. It looks good. It looks good.
Amen. Amen.
Up next, we have Arietti.
I mean, they made a gay Pope joke, and I said, that's funny. That's funny.
I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown, but empty is the head that doesn't know comedy.
These don't scream shorts. They scream J. Crew. What is this?
This looks like something I would expect like a heel Queen of the Ring winner to wear for their coronation ceremony. Like, they can't wear it in Saudi Arabia because it's showing too much skin.
Yeah.
But I could see them, like, going, like, full Seth Rollins, like, campiness with, like, I could see Zelina Vega wearing this.
I was about to say Zelina Vega. I mean, if it was, I don't know, maybe Charlotte Flair a little bit, but.
God, don't give her any ideas for WrestleMania. Not that anything's going to pique my interest about that WrestleMania match anymore. Because I feel like, not to make this a wrestling moment, but quick side note, like, why is it that, like, I don't give two shits about Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton for the women's championship anymore?
All I want is Tiffany Stratton to win.
At this point, I don't care who the fuck wins, like, because I'm not loving Tiffany as a face, and Charlotte hasn't done shit since the Rumble, and next week is her first match, like, not the Rumble in well over a year and a half, so that's what it is. But yes, alas, Ariadne, maybe for a WWE event, we could see this, but for the runway, it no.
Yeah, it's giving costume party.
I mean,
What? What? Wait a minute. This is not. What happened? Jose said, nope, I'm going to leave. He said, bitch, bye.
I've had it with my computer. I've blue screened when I was uploading a video. I just had fucking Chrome crash on me clicking on Michael's message, so.
Let me tell you, that was me on a ramble, and I thought that Tony Khan had taken my voodoo doll because I shit talked him every time I was shit talking him on a ramble. I got the blue screen.
I might have to. I think it's time because I don't want to upgrade this because I have like a new graphics. I have so much new stuff in there, but I feel like I'm gonna have to like do a clean install of Windows and just. I don't know why my CPU is crashing like this, but I'm getting annoyed with this. I feel like it's because I'm still in Windows 10, not Windows 11. I'm just...
If that's the reason, we are all fucking doomed, man.
Yeah. God damn. That is the first time that's ever happened to me on the air on one of these shows, but...
Yeah.
You know what? We keep it pushing.
Push it real good.
No, that was last week on off the air. But up next, we have Jewel Sparkles wearing Michelle Visage's favorite thing.
Here's the
Marie
thing.
Antoinette.
It's not Marie Antoinette.
Thank you.
It's not.
It is medieval. It is like old regalness. Like, it's very much like petticoat. Like, I love the fact that, like, we have a little pantaloon moment. I love the beehive. I love the little bows. I feel like... if we're going with the historical context of it, like this is what I think of when I say short shorts. So like, it looks good.
It looks cute. Little pantaloons. That's a cute little cheeky moment. Like we're not seeing cheeks. Little Pantaloons
was my name in summer camp. So.
Oh well, at least it's not your prison name.
This outfit gives me no feelings on cake. I mean, it's not really about like being. This challenge, like for the runway, should have been about being caked up, but it wasn't. Probably because we already had "Is It Cake,"
right?
Which led to the hairy ass. But you know, all things considered, I still think it's a cute look. It's not like mind blowing. I don't think we're gonna have any shoots on Fashion Photo Review this week. I wouldn't expect us to with this rate.
You think that it's also like a color of green, right? It's like that chartreuse color green, and we know that Michelle Visage hates green.
But this isn't like screaming like green. Like when I think of like green that Michelle Visage hates, I think of Alphabet. Like I think of like the secret slime action from Figure It Out. Like I don't think of like this shade of green. I think it's a tasteful shade of green because it also can veer yellow. So
I know. I love this color green. It looks really good on me. But Michelle's having that comment. It's like, do you even know historical fashion? Go back. Get that Vogue book out. Go look.
I mean, she lived it, so I'm surprised it didn't jog her memory. I mean, I love the satin like details that she has in the puffy sleeves. It's a fun look. I just, I mean, obviously this week is not a week that they take runways into consideration for anything, but alas, we keep it moving. Up next, lingerie with this direct Naomi Campbell reference. But the problem is that when Naomi did it on the runway, it was pedestrian then, it's pedestrian now.
Yeah. Why would you pick the most pedestrian Naomi outfit in this Shein-looking top?
But the worst part is the red cap with the text on it. It was not giving me Naomi Campbell. It was giving me Candace Owens.
And she has no business in queer spaces.
No. It quite literally looks like you're stomping the runway on January 6th, 2021. No. Like, we're storming the Capitol. The house down boots.
Yes.
Yeah, like, you better
Freedom.
take away my right to choose. Come on.
She already done has hers rights.
Yep. Yeah, it was an indentured serve.
I didn't like
up
it.
next, we have Sam Starr.
So do you know that commercial where the housewives are playing football, right? In there. It's for DirecTV or whatever the hell.
Mhm.
Is it DirecTV or Paramount? I can't remember.
I don't know.
This is giving me like expensive housewives. This is what they would wear at a flag football challenge. And I like it. It is kind of cunty, you know?
I feel like the hair's the best part.
The hair is anal beads, and I love it.
Yeah, like the bubble ponytail going down. I just feel like this look doesn't read like, yeah, it's draggy, but like I don't think there's a taste level that I like get from this. Like, this is what I imagine Dorinda would wear if she was going to go one-on-one with Bob the Drag Queen in a wrestling match.
Dorinda? Who's that?
I mean, I don't know. First kill? I mean, we will get into that later. Don't worry. Again, Traders Post Show, 6 p.m., 3 Pacific.
I'm so excited.
But also, I feel like Sam Starr, we know that her godfather's Charles Barkley of the NBA fame. Why not do basketball instead of football, considering that in basketball they actually wear shorts?
We love a good basketball short fantasy, though.
God, could you imagine, like, if someone said, like, no, fuck your short shorts, just start sagging with, like, 3 different pairs of shorts as pants? Why did nobody do that?
That would have been so funny. That's funny.
Like, taking your short shorts and just stitching them together, and, like, making a full-on, like, pant out of it. Like, come on.
Oh, my gosh.
Why are we thinking of better stuff than the girls did for this week?
All right. Sewing challenge. Let's go.
Yes. Up next, we have Lydia Butthole Collins. I will say this. Lydia, undisputedly the best roaster of the whole thing. Are the short shorts in the room with us?
I mean, here's what I wanted. You know how when Katya had that one...
Not Luna Vachana, she was born in the 90s, became a wrestler this year. You know, it is very Demolition now that you say that, Michael, if we're talking about Sam Starr's look, but yeah.
You know that one runway where Katya comes out and then blood just starts coming out of her mouth? I wanted something like that, like the intestines were pouring out of her. Like, all of a sudden, she starts unraveling. You know what I mean? Like, blood coming out of everywhere, you know? I don't know. The butthole thing wasn't... Okay.
Nothing about this meets the brief to me, though.
No.
Like, it's a conceptual look. Maybe if it was like an Inside Out thing, sure, then you could tell the storyline here. Mm-hmm. Like, even Monet on the pit stop today was just like, just give us the fucking shorts. Like, it would have been even funnier, like, if you just, like, why didn't nobody do this, like, a walk of shame where you're wearing, like, the person you just, like, got done kai-kaiing with, you wear their shorts on the walk of shame.
That would have been
like,
hilarious.
Like, come on. And
yeah, this is just...
with the whole, like, storyline that her and Corey had, that would have been so fucking funny.
That's funny. That is funny. This is just giving me...
I got it. She literally could have just taken a pair of shorts that Corey was wearing and be like, well, I got my guts, like, rearranged, and now this is me walking out of the hotel. Like, come on!
I am speechless.
But does that not make a more compelling story for this?
Yes. Brief? Yes.
Anyways, go back to what you were saying. Sorry.
No, there was a giant at Giant Gonzalez.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very
At
much
WrestleMania.
that, where she's like all hairy and like, you know. No
it's
relation,
giving,
by the way.
Yeah. I mean, unless You wear that.
Like,
Go Google Giant Gonzalez, folks.
Yeah, you know what it's giving? It's giving like if your Mortal Kombat character who already got a fatality done on them had to serve cunt before the next round.
Now sachet. Boop ba-doop, boop 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 ba-doop, boop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a death drop. It's not drop dead gorgeous. They were just dead. Literally.
I would like to die.
I mean, speaking of things that would kill me, Susie Toot. I was watching this with Bianca last night. And you know what it reminded her of?
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch when Ariana Grande was hosting SNL this season?
I feel like I saw a couple things on TikTok.
Okay, so there's a sketch of her being a castrati singer named Antonio, and this is what it reminded us of.
Oh.
Like, it's giving very much like I'm a eunuch that can sing really high.
I mean, so here's the funny thing is she came out and I immediately said, "Oh, A Midnight Summer's Wet Dream." And guess what?
Yeah.
Because okay, I'm gonna toot my own horn. I spent I spent a summer in London studying literature, mainly Shakespeare.
This
is what these cunts wore every single day in that freaking Coliseum.
Not method acting.
I know. And they stink. They're stinky. Those polyester stinky.
But that also, like, to harken back on our own show, like, knowing that you had a summer where you studied Shakespeare in London, and we talked about how somebody said fucking Macbeth before High School Musical and all shit breaking loose. Like, I love that, like, we find a way to always bring it back to something. If I'd fucking known, damn it. Oh, well. Othello, and you better don't.
Listen, you want to see the best modern adaptation to a Shakespeare movie?
I've seen it.
Always hands down favorite.
So good.
So good. Tears, everything. It's the best. And as someone who, I mean, As You Like It is one of my faves, but Othello.
Honestly, I think my favorite Shakespeare is Twelfth Night.
Oh, it's a good one. I
feel like I've gotten so used to like everybody going back to the tragedies. Why not the comedies?
Well, if comedy is not tragedy, then I don't want it.
No, I mean, it's just this runway that's tragic. I mean, is it well constructed? Yes. Is it something that I would hearken to? No.
Jose, where Farrah though? Jose.
Probably the kitchen. And last but certainly not least, Lexi Love, who has given us the shredded denim look with a long train. Is this a safe space?
Yeah.
I'm so sick of Lexi Love with these trains. Like, let the garment be the garment. If it's not styled enough to stand on its own, dragging some fabric behind you doesn't make it better.
You know what I would have fucking loved it without the train? I mean, I do like the train because drama, whatever. I would have liked it if the ties from the shoes like went all the way up the legs and just ties around the arms. If you're just gonna stand by your outfit, that would have been so sick. Reminds me of old school Sasha Banks, how she had all the things tied on their arms, tied on the. Give me that.
And also, like, this isn't a read on like the girls for not padding, but like I would have loved a fuller figure for a look like this. Or especially if you're gonna play into like the shape of it, like have like the denim shorts like be the top and the bottom. Like you cut it out and like you basically turn it into like a skirt of some sort, but you have it tied around with like a breastplate. Have it be like low cut where the fly is and like show off some cleavage there, and then like really like skimpify the shorts so it actually accentuates the little ass that you have if you're not going to fully pad it. Like Lexi has the body to like go all the way like slutty tees, but she didn't do it here. And it kind of felt like she basically saw what Sasha Colby did on season 15 when they had like a denim runway and just shredded it up a little bit more to try to make it her own.
I mean, it's giving like the Hulk. You know, when he Hulkifies, how come only his denim shorts stay on?
I don't know.
Jacob from Twilight. How come when he becomes his little werewolf self, how come his denim shorts stay on?
Because they don't need their cash and prizes flinging around rating the movie R instead.
Honestly, wasn't he like a minor? So I shouldn't put that out there on the. No, I'm not. I don't belong.
The views of Auntie Collins do not express those of our local.
Listen, he's an adult now.
Yeah, and married to a beautiful woman who's now also named Taylor Lautner.
Which I love.
Same spelling too.
Love.
A nightmare as someone who's a namesake already. It's just like no. I
need to know though, Edward or Jacob? Did you like Twilight? Did you not like Twilight?
I was not a Twihard. I was a Hunger Games kid.
Okay, please don't look at my car because I have.
Oh no! I know you live
3
for
bumper
Twilight.
stickers. I am a ratty.
If you like it, I love it for you.
But listen, as I've gotten older, you know who I am team? I'm team Charlie.
I was gonna say team neither one of them, honestly.
Or Carlisle. Oh my gosh. You ever read those fan fictions of Carlisle and Charlie?
Wait a minute, didn't 50 Shades of Grey start as like a Twilight fanfic?
Yeah. Don't remind me. Yeah.
Did you read the material before the book came out?
Yes. Here's the thing, okay? When I moved to New York,
Bobby chose
right?
a great time to come in. Hello.
When
doing great. We are just getting ready to talk about the origins of 50 Shades of Grey, but also, again, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Bobby is joining us. Astrid, LJ. That roundtable discussion for the Traders US Season 3. So please stay tuned to OLE a little bit later today. But alas, Collins?
Let me tell you. I moved to New York City, the same year that the Twilight movies came out. Okay?
Oh, God.
So every time I was like, hi, my name is Collins. Where'd you move from? Washington State. Oh, do you know Twilight? Do you know all these things about Twilight? Yeah, unfortunately I do. So you know what? Like the first semester of college, I said, I'm not going to read my required reading for college. No, I'm going to read all of Twilight. All of the books, every book. And then my friends on Tumblr were like, oh, do you know about 50 Shades? Me, a technical virgin, reading books about BDSM.
Is it bad that when you say technical virgin, I just think about like your hymen being like Bryan Danielson?
I mean, that's kind of how. Let me do a label lock on you.
I think it gives new meaning to the term cattle mutilation.
I mean, that's kind of how it was going, but.
Oh, that's not.
Nope. We're not going. No, just the move, the way that he does it. That's the things that we're doing. Yeah. So I read 50 Shades, and that was the first spicy book I'd ever read, and I was like, this seems, the dynamic between these people doesn't seem correct, which dove me into a complete subsection of Tumblr where fan fiction lived, where other spicy books lived.
Chance. I mean, wouldn't it depend on the partner?
I mean, but here I am. Yeah, I didn't listen, I've said this on other shows. When I say technical virgin, I mean that I didn't have straight intercourse until I was 22 years old. Senior in college. Here I was. But let me tell you, it's okay. It's okay. because I was reading spicy books and so much that the internet provided me from Tumblr, and that I will never forgive the people of Al Gore's internet for taking Tumblr away from me. I mean, I know it's still there, but it's not the same.
I mean, is it Al Gore's like the fact that Tumblr like tried to double down on the very thing that made Tumblr being spicy shit?
Spicy shit. And then they were like, oh no, we were bought by Yahoo. Yahoo doesn't like this. And it's like, fine.
Well, it is what it is, just like with this runway category. I mean, golly, this week was not my favorite week on the runway. And
No.
the challenge was polarizing because the hits really did hit, but the misses really, really missed this week with the roasts. So our top 3 for the week, we had Miss Lana Jarre, we had Miss Lydia Butthole Collins, and we had one Miss Sam Stark. And in the bottom, we had Ariete, we had Jewel Sparkles, and we had Lexi Love. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
Anya and Susie were fine. It wasn't anything great, but I feel like I am very happy that Lana got a chance to show what she's capable of when like she actually doubles down on herself and lets loose.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really good set for her to really come out of her shell. Sam followed it up with another great set, but deservingly so. Lydia Butthole Collins is the winner of this week's Maxi Challenge with, y'all, I will say, like, if you don't watch any other set from this roast, go back and watch Lydia's. It was so good. Truly an all-timer for roast sets on RuPaul's Drag Race, I would say.
I just wish that Lydia's runway look was better.
I agree. But I feel like all of the runway looks not being that good is part of why they didn't factor into the judging this week. Because I don't know who you could have like put in the top besides Lydia this week if we're going objectively off the challenge alone. Like, it's not one edges out the other. No. Like, if we're talking about a true roast set, undisputably is she the winner. And in the bottom 2, we have Jewel Sparkles and Ariete in our Lip Sync for Your Life, which still pisses me off that they did not bring up the whole Ariete stealing Jules' jokes thing at all, because that would have made for even better like energy going into the lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, we do see the bottom 2 lip sync to Ya Ya by Beyonce. My favorite song from Cowboy Carter, so I was shocked as hell to hear it.
Really?
Yeah. No, I fucking love Ya Ya.
It's I think it's the second song of this season that I was singing it.
Oh my God, yeah.
With
like as soon as they started like a whole lot of red and the white and blue, I was getting my life. Your thoughts on the lip sync, Collins?
I think that Jules Sparkles should not be messed with in a lip sync challenge.
I agree. And I'm glad she got a chance to like show her lip sync chops aside from, Woman's World.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have put this song for these two, but alas, it was still fun.
My opinions about Ariete is that I have known from some people that I know in the space here in Seattle, is that she kind of is like that. Like her true colors are showing here of a little bit catty, a little bit bratty, a little bit everything is about me. If it's not about me, I don't want to be a part of it. Which in a community of drag in one of the most blue states, being like, no, only my opinions matter. Only my sets matter. I'm going to pop in for my set and I'm not going to stay for the whole show. That's bad decorum.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. So seeing Ariete kind of be on her best behavior up to this point has been kind of interesting because it wasn't my experience with her or my experience with that other people know of Ariete.
I'd argue it wasn't even her best behavior because she wasn't that likable up until the bitter end.
Right. But here's how you can see if someone is emotionally mature or not, is if we have a disagreement and something that you did upset me, Even if it's something small, even if it doesn't matter, even if we're in a competition, it matters to me, our friendship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, hey, I know that this is a competition because emotional intelligence, but I do want to let you know that this did bother me. And I want to make sure that when we leave this competition, that we are still friends, because that's more valuable than this competition.
Yeah.
Having that kind of conversation is emotionally being mature. I don't think that there is anything about Arrietty that is mature. It's selfish of her to not let the rage inside her, the anger that she's feeling, and she's not going, you know what? When you feel that kind of anger, it's a sign for yourself to go, you know what? I need to resolve this. And if you want to resolve it diplomatically, you want to be confrontational, do something. But she sabotages her own fucking self. She doesn't even use her anger to fuel her to do better, put her into fifth or sixth gear to just. There are some queens in the history of RuPaul's Drag Race that have taken things that have happened during the competition that would make them down and out, that would be like, you know what, I'm tapping out. But some of these queens have taken it into, this is just what's going to keep driving me. And I think that Arrietty just crashed out in front of all of us, you know, Fast and Furious style. And we're just watching her go up in flames. All of this work that she's done, the beautiful garments that she's had. Yes, those are great. But if you cannot be emotionally mature, you are going to burn the fuck out in the drag space. And then you're going to not be billed. Like the return on investment here, nobody's going to want to work with you. Mm-hmm. So that was my little mini rant for Arrietty, because if you can't be likable, how the hell are you going to like anybody else? Can we...
And it's not even just that. I think it's also the fact that, like, we've already seen a precedent of what happens with a lot of these look queens that are, like, super bitchy, and, like, that's their claim to fame. I mean, we see it with Violet Chachki all the fucking time. But, like, it's almost like, at least with Violet, she's still, like, going to the gigs. Like, she'll still kiki with the sisters and joke around with them. But, like, we know that, like, her, for better or worse, her drag career is built on being, like, bitchy and cunty and, like, supposed to be, like, the end-all be-all when it comes to looks. But, like, Arrietty didn't even do that. Like, we almost saw a glimpse of emotional intelligence when they had that conflict during the ball with Lexi Love's look getting painted over by Anya and everything. Like, they had that moment. But it just seems like anytime that she's on the receiving end of hardship or she knows that she's going to struggle, she just goes into tantrum mode. She doesn't try to improve on anything that she's done before. I mean, we also talk about the fact that she technically was supposed to be eliminated earlier in the season, but she came back with the dunk tank. Like, honestly, I feel like of all the queens on this season, Arrietty is probably the one that is coming out of the season looking worse.
Yeah.
And that's saying something, because Lucky Stars went home very fucking first, trying to break out of something different than what she was normally doing, and ultimately it cost her. The fact that she took a risk and it just didn't pay off, that I can commend. The fact that, like, even Hormona Lisa getting eliminated for playing it safe with a design and, like, just getting eliminated, I can live with that. Crystal Envy having one bad week after having so many great moments, like, with design looks and, like, other stuff, like, during, like, the challenge for the compilation CD, like, getting to show out there, like, having moments that can show, like, when you're able to do a little bit more, or if somehow you just end up, like, playing it safe, and then by the time you get to come out of your shell, it's too late. We didn't really get that with Arrietty at all. It just felt like she was putting this guard up, and then when she finally couldn't keep her guard up, she just took it out on anybody in sight. And that's what I don't agree with. So, deservingly so, she sashays away. And with that, we are at a top 7. So... Now, the $1 million question at this point is, who do you think is going to win season 17, Collins?
Now we're at this point. Who's going to win? Mm-hmm. It's between 4 or so people.
Who are?
So, of course, Anya Nerve is going to be in there. And if I'm honest, I think Anya Nerve would be a fantastic winner. Mm-hmm. I think Sam Starr is making it a run for money, especially in the next preview that we saw for next week. Think that she will do fantastic. The gaggle of the bag is the other two going to be Susie? Is it going to be Jules? Is it going to be Lexi?
I think for sure Jules. I think we're going to come to a head with like Alexi versus Susie Toot lip sync, because it seems like whether or not they're trying to make that the next storyline, it feels like that's kind of where we're headed. I love Lydia. I feel like I would love to see her in the top 4. I just don't think she's going to, just based off of like not only just late track record, but just like who's been consistently showing out. And it feels like there's always a disconnect, kind of the same way that Acacia had a disconnect between challenges and like what we see on the runway. I feel like Lydia also falls in that column because she looked fucking phenomenal when we were doing the roast. And then she goes on the runway and flips the script and it's kind of like, I don't know about this. Because Acacia was doing the same thing too with RDR Live and like the stuff that she's doing in challenges.
Right.
And then on the runway, it felt so out of left field and just not palatable the same way that she was in a challenge. So I really hope we kind of see that cohesion of like how you present yourself throughout the whole episode, not just like one segment to another. So, but alas, we are not the competitors on this season of Drag Race. We just watch it, we enjoy it, and we hope that you guys have been enjoying what we've been doing every Saturday so far. We are still going to be here a little bit later today. Again, I've been saying it throughout the whole episode. The Traitors, Season 3, post-show. It is myself, it is Auntie Collins, Bobby Munson, Astrid Pizarro, and Ella J. At the round table, we are deliberating. We are recounting everything that's happened this crazy season, and my God, was it a crazy season. I mean, we talk about stuff that was unexpected. I sure the hell did not expect 4 Faithfuls to win, but alas, here we are on the other side. And it's kind of hard to think about, well, the way the finale went, I don't know if anybody else was going to win. So let's see this. Is there any more True Ogre craziness? No STG, no Tekken references today, actually, I don't think. We had a reference to Giant Gonzalez in wrestling, and then about how I never had a T-Mobile sidekick. But aside from that, it was just a run-of-the-mill episode of Drag Race. But speaking of things that are run-of-the-mill, Auntie Collins, where can the fine folks find you these days?
Anywhere you have a social media, _queer auntie. I'm hanging out every day, doing something, whether it's just live tweeting my anger about things or just being who I am. I stream now Thursdays through Sundays as Women's Classic Wrestling is taking a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm here to support our lovely friends over at our local establishment. Tomorrow, if you want to catch me talking about wrestling, we're going to be on Fightful Overbook talking about how wrestling made us cry. We're doing a Revolution preview. And then I'm going to be back here for our local establishment talking about Revolution, the pre and the post. I mean, am I going to die? Probably. But at least you can watch it.
The 3 show days before, bless your heart. I will say the thing that's going to make me cry is the fact that Toni Storm and Mariah May is not the main event.
Why is it not the main event, especially with Queen of the Ring and it's International Women's Day?
No, the Queen of the Ring thing is just like a fucking cherry on top of the cake. It's objectively the best story they've told in months. And then on top of that, we also talk about the fact that we've been like so burnt out with everything going on with the fucking Death Riders and like Cope and FTR.
Let me tell you,
Khan,
if you want to know,
you are about to fumble the fucking bag with the greatest story you've ever told in your women's division after 6 years of getting criticized for your lackluster women's division.
He's never beating the books women like shit allegations. I'll tell you that.
I mean, at least they're getting booked better than Ring of Honor, so.
Hey, we had 3 women's matches this last week on Ring of Honor. So 2 of them were squashes, but hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Party. And then for me, I mean, Jose in the Air everywhere gets you in the loop. I recently just uploaded a video yesterday. I'm going to try out a little series on the channel. We'll see if it's going to end up staying a weekly thing. But I went over this past wrestling week where we were talking the fallout of WWE's Elimination Chamber. I gave a little preview going into SmackDown before we saw the craziness that was Naomi coming out as the attacker for Jade Cargill and the chaos that ensued after that. And also making sure to give Mariah May and Tony Storm their flowers going into this Hollywood ending tomorrow at AEW Revolution. But, I mean, as always, our local establishment is your place to go for anything with wrestling and fun fandom stuff. So please, make sure you're subscribed here if you're not already. Make sure you're following on socials if you're not already. And, like always, we will see you next week again for another amazing episode of the Mother Tuck and Post Show. So until then, take care, everybody.